Welcome my good smelling friends, I am Ify and today we are going to discuss how to get more compliments. But I'm not going to show you a list of fragrances and tell you buy these fragrances to get compliments, because we have established from the last video that this is too subjective, meaning that the fragrances that will get me compliments won't necessarily gain you compliments. But there are some things, some ways that will increase the chance of getting compliments. I personally don't care that much about compliments. I don't even know how to react to compliments, but I used to care a lot. And you know what happened? In that period when I was trying hard to get compliments, I got 0 compliments. You know when I got compliments? When I didn't expect them to come. So the first thing, now it might sound ridiculous, but don't try to get compliments. Starting by choosing your fragrance and how to wear it and when to wear it. Don't do this based on the fact that you're trying to get compliments, because you'll seem like this needy person. Not to mention the disappointment, because you bought something that you would expect to get you more compliments, but you don't even like it. The second thing is the price doesn't matter. So I've shown you in the last video as well, I've got 0 compliments with Creed Aventus, which I don't have to say it's much more expensive than its clone Armaf Club de Nuit Intense Man, which have gained me the most compliments. However, that doesn't mean that you can go and purchase a £1 fragrance and that will get you more compliments than a very expensive fragrance. It could, but it probably won't. Since we are talking about fragrances and the type of fragrances, choose synthetic over realistic smelling fragrances. Again, I know it might sound ridiculous, but here are 2 fragrances that smell very nice, very pleasant. Yeah, this one smells like a very realistic grapefruit. This one smells very green, again, very realistic. But you know what happens when I wear these fragrances? People compliment me like this. You smell very green. Oh, you smell like a grapefruit. Is that the type of compliments you are trying to get? I don't think so. I think you are trying to get the type of compliments which people are saying, who smells that good? What's that amazing smell? Which usually comes from these designer fragrances, which have mixed all sorts of ingredients and they're not focusing on one single or 2 ingredients. That they do smell natural, they do smell realistic, but they do not get the same type of compliments which probably most of you are after. That alluring smell that people are left wondering who smells that great. By the way, I'm going to pause here because I forgot to mention this from the beginning. There are 2 types of compliments. The one that most of you are after, the one that people are just left amazed by how good you smell, but they cannot figure out. People are just left wondering. And there's the other type of compliments which people associate with some kind of memory or some kind of uplifting smell. Usually these kind of fragrances, the natural smell of a grapefruit, the natural smell of green nature, green leaves, pine trees, these sorts of smells will get you compliments because people have the pleasure of being around you. The next thing will be wear fragrances that have a good projection and good sillage. I have lots of fragrances that have a very good longevity, but longevity doesn't matter that much. People need to smell the fragrance on you to give you compliments. If the fragrance stays long on the skin, but you are only able to smell it when you do like this, then it doesn't matter, unless you probably have an intimate date. But the fragrance needs to project so the people around will be able to smell it or have a good sillage or sillage, meaning that when you walk, you leave a really nice and strong scent trail. Now, another tip, another thing that I can think of is the type of people you are around. I'm not saying you should change your friends, even though if they are not good friends, you should change them. But I'm talking about people who are also at least a bit into fragrances. Because if there are people who only wear fragrances because they have the habit of wearing a fragrance when they leave the house, but they don't give that much importance to it, they probably won't notice your smell. But if you have friends and people who are curious about the fragrance you are wearing, they will probably give more attention to it, and they will probably ask you on what fragrance you are wearing. It's pretty basic, but it's logical. They are not exaggerated things, what I've talked about until now. These are real life situations that would apply with any fragrance and in any situation when you are going to wear a fragrance. So I think they are far more valuable than me making a video of lists of fragrances that could get you compliments. And these are actually facts and things that I have noticed from 10 years of dealing with fragrances. So it's not something that I just made up to make this video. I have to admit that it's nice to receive a compliment once in a while. After all, fragrances were invented for other people to smell it on you. And that was it. Until the next video, you keep smelling great.